Night before I met my husband, I lit a candle between a Buddha head and a Kuan Yin on my dresser, just like I did every night. It was a 30-second act of beauty that I had built into my routine. It was time to call in love. I knew he was coming. I didn't know it then, but that was an act that would change the trajectory and the next chapter of my life. I just knew that when I lit that candle every night, something in me settled. Something in me said, I'm ready. Today, I want to talk about why that matters and what this means for you and your home. Welcome back to the Intentional Design series. Chapter by chapter, every week until the launch of my book on intentional design in the fall of 2026. I'm Natasha Antonioni, a luxury realtor and interior designer here in Austin, Texas, with the Council Real Estate Group for Compass. We've been building something over the last few weeks here. Ritual space, symbolic objects, designing for connection. Today is chapter 6, and it is the backbone that runs through it all. Beauty as a daily practice. Not beauty as a decoration. Beauty as a symbol to your nervous system, to your future self, to whatever you want to call that force that responds when you get serious about your life. I was 27. I was living in New York City. My career was doing everything right on paper. Vogue features, high-income contracts, lots of press, a full roster of clients, but I had been running for so long, I'd forgotten to feel anything. At some point, I had made a decision to turn the top of my dresser into an altar. Just two objects I loved, placed where I could see them every morning, a large Buddha head candle and a gorgeous Kuan Yin statue that my dear friend Gay had given me. It hit me that they could be a symbol of the love that I felt ready to call in. I tilted them towards each other. And then laying them every night became something that just settled my nervous system. It felt firm, real. That act of beauty, 30 seconds, no cost, was the first thing that I had ever done purely to signal something to myself. Just to say, I'm here, I'm ready. I believe something beautiful is coming. That evening, I lit the candle and I wrote in the journal, "Thank you for my perfect soulmate." Blew it out and went to a party I almost skipped in Brooklyn. The moment I walked in, a man, Dario, across the room felt an electric current go down his spine. The next night on our first date, we already knew. I'm not saying the candle summoned my husband. I'm saying that the daily act, the daily ritual, created a version of me that was actually ready to receive what I had been asking for. That practice had been going on for months, by the way. Here's what I've learned over the years of working as a designer and realtor here in Austin. Beauty isn't a style choice. It's a sensory practice. And most homes are maybe engaging two senses at most. In chapter 6 of Intentional Design, I walk you through what I call your daily beauty practice. And it's built around all 5 senses on purpose. Sight. This is where most people stop. But it's the starting point, not the whole picture. What do you see first thing every morning? Last thing every night? That image is doing something to you. Make it intentional. Scent. Your olfactory system is the fastest route to your nervous system. A candle lit, fresh herbs in a bowl, eucalyptus hanging in the shower. Scent is the most underutilized design tool that I know. In my home, small hand bowls hold fresh herbs, thyme, salt, freshly crushed pepper. Every time I reach for them, something in me slows down. Touch. The mug your daughter made. The weighted throw you put out in the fall on the sofa. The rough texture of a stone dish that holds your soap and grounds you before your day begins. Materials are not decorations. They are daily conversations with your body. Sound. This one surprises people. The playlist that signals that the morning has started. The silence that signals you're done for the day. The dimmers that shift your body from work to rest. James Clear calls this habit stacking, a sensory cue to a transition you want to make. In my home, the lights go down and candles flicker after dinner. My nervous system now reads that as it's time to exhale for the day. Taste. Food is design. A charcuterie board arranged with fresh cherries and sprigs of thyme isn't about the food. It's about the experience of preparing it and offering it. My kitchen island always has large bowls of fruit and vegetables, not to impress, as a daily visual reminder that health and abundance is right here. When my daughter London was young, we used to go to ceramic shops and paint them together. She would paint fairies and frogs, and I would paint what became a collection of plates. Small concentric dots, not perfect. Each one had its own unique pattern, but they had kind of a symmetry to them. Over time, I had a full collection. We used them for everything, for family dinners, for dinner parties of 12, until they got all chipped and some of them even broken. I almost threw them away, but instead I hung them near the kitchen wall. They're still there, and without question, they are one of the most commented things in our home. Those comments start a conversation because they're real. Because when people see them and they ask about them, it becomes a conversation piece. This is what beauty does when it carries a story. It doesn't just decorate a room, it starts something. The most powerful beauty in your home is never the most expensive piece. It's one that means something. Your homework for this week: choose one ordinary moment in your day. Your morning coffee, your meditation practice, your evening wind down or cooking dinner, and add one element of beauty to it to engage your senses, to become present and aware in that moment that you are creating something. You are creating a daily practice, not a renovation. One object, one scent, one intentional dimming of the lights. And then do it every day for a week, for a month, for a year, and notice what shifts. New chapter next week. Chapter 7 takes us into the energetics of space. How a room can feel heavy or alive. How to identify what's draining your energy and what to do about it. New videos every week until the launch of my book in the fall of 2026. Subscribe so you don't miss a chapter. And tell me in the comments, what's one small act of beauty you can add to your daily routine?